What is good, my Rags and Fitness people, my Rags and Fitness folks, my Rags and Fitness fam? It is your man Rags, back off up in this thing. And when I tell you I'm up in it, I'm talking about I'm knee all the way off up in it. Guys, let's do ourselves a favor. Let's please keep God first. Amen. In everything we do. And for all of my Crimson Tide football fans, can I please get a roll? Tide roll, baby. Guys, this is Rags back again, man. Hey, I won't keep you long today. I just want to come in here and talk some more Alabama football, right? Some more of the news that we got the other day that Rags had to just give you guys his take, right? That was my opinion, guys. Like, come on, man. Like, the thing about this whole thing, man, with this, with media and people having their own platforms, people are gonna give their own opinions, no matter what platform you go on, right? They're gonna give you what they think, right? And when I dropped the video the other day about Mr. Ryan Grubb leaving Alabama, I had just gotten the news, right? I didn't get it the night before. I woke up that next morning because I went to bed early, right? And I got the news that Mr. Ryan Grubb was leaving Alabama for Seattle Seahawks, right? And the first thing I could think of, right, is that because I want to issue some apologies to Mr. Ryan Grubb. The first thing I thought about, I said, man, he never wanted to be in Alabama. I said he despised of Tuscaloosa. Listen, I used that word. That was probably the wrong word to use, the wrong thing to say, that he despised of Tuscaloosa, because I've never talked to this man and I don't know what his thoughts was, right? So I want to take that back. I want to apologize to him. You know what I'm saying? If any of his family, anything like that, if they heard it, if they even watch, right? No, if I'm even a blip on their radar, right? Which I'm probably not, right? But anyway, we never know. This man here, man, decided to go back to something that was normal to him, a place that he had been, right? Let me give you guys a small thing that happened to Rags, right? Last year, this time, I got a new job, right? In this area right here. I moved from a place that I loved, great weather and everything, to drive up like hundreds of miles to this new job, right? My family was still down there in that area, right? And I came up to here. Thing about it is, this is a great job in an area that's okay. I was in an area that was beautiful. If anybody would have offered me a better job down in the area that I was, no way that I would have moved away from that area. I would have stayed down there with my family and I wouldn't be up where I'm at right now, guys, right? So I want to say this. I'm saying all of that to say this. Hopefully that makes sense. I understand why he stayed where he was, right? If there was anything dealing with family or anything dealing with an area that he was familiar with, that he loved, right? I understand that, Mr. Ryan Grubb. My only thing was, that was my initial thoughts when I released that, right? I have every right to do that. And my initial thought was, man, not again, guys. Like, right when we thought we had a coaching staff, right? Build up, right? We're right on the dump. We're still on the peak of Mr. Nicholas Saban leaving us, right? Please come home, Mr. Nicholas Saban. I got some beans and bologna. That's besides the point, guys. I'm being silly. But listen, we're still on the outer edges of that, right? We're trying to get over that. We assemble a coaching staff, and this guy just up and leave, right? He has every right to do that, but I have every right to have an opinion and say, come on, Grubb, right? I hear a lot of people out there saying, hey, man, why are the Alabama people so down on this guy leaving? He haven't even coached it. Let's be realistic. We was excited about this hire, right? We all was excited about this hire because we know even Mr. Nicholas Saban was going after this guy. So let's not act like we wasn't excited about this hire at one point in time. Now that he leaves, it's like, oh, whatever. Let's not act like that, guys. This guy was going to be a good play caller, right? On paper, we knew that this guy was a good play. We saw him do this with other players, right? That's not to say that we will not have a great play caller at Alabama. That's not to say that. That's just saying, hey, man, you just got here. Guys, we just getting over some stuff, and then you up and leave. That's just a immediate reaction, right? I'm still with the Alabama Crimson Tide through and through. I was born in this. Hey, I know a lot of people on here. It's even some content creators. They was not born in this. They was not knowing it. I'm born in this, guys. I can tell you this, and I'm down with it through and through, right? And you don't have to be. You could be from somewhere else and still be an Alabama Crimson Tide fan. I'm just using that to let you know how diehard Alabama I am, right? Before I was on YouTube, anybody can tell you I was diehard Alabama. And after YouTube, I will still be diehard Alabama. There's nothing that could pull me away from it. I was diehard Alabama with all of the previous coaches that was there, right? I've had some family play with Alabama, right? So it's just been something that I've always been a part of, right? Guys, a lot of us is saying this, right? Okay, so let's go to this. Who's gonna be the next offensive coordinator for Alabama? I hear guys throwing names out there that Greg Byrne has not even thought about saying, guys. Hey, what about such and so from such and so? What about, hey, I'm just throwing names out there. What about, how? Like, why are you doing that? Like, for the people that don't have a platform, and for the people that's not really the real casual watcher, they just come in every now and then and they hear you say stuff like that, they start to believe in it. Well, I hear that they're going to be going after a guy from Wyoming State, or they're going to be going from a guy from Maine or Vermont. You throwing names out there that just don't even make sense. That nobody's even giving you a clue that this is a guy that we're going to go after, right? So when guys just click on here when they hear the news and they want to hear something about somebody that's going to be offensive coordinators, and they may click on your channel or whatever, and they hear that, they're like, wow, this may be the next guy. And this guy's not even on the radar, guys. But one guy can tell you that I've heard myself that's on the radar is that guy from Missouri. I had a guy come in the comment section and he asked me, he said, Rex, what about that guy from Missouri? And I told him, I said, man, let me do a little research on him. And his name is Kirby Moore, right? Another Kirby, right? Kirby Moore. Will this guy be a great fit? Maybe. I've heard he's worked with Kalen DeBoer before, right? That's one thing. Here's another thing that I've been hearing, right? Mr. Kalen DeBoer may pick up the play calling task himself. Guys, do you understand what you're asking for? Yeah, well, such and so coach did it when he was at this program, and hey, this worked out fine. Guys, I understand that. And it may work out fine with Kalen DeBoer calling the plays. He may actually be the guy that's calling the plays. But when you think about it and what you're asking of him, you're asking him to be the head coach. You're asking him to be the quarterback's coach. You're asking him to be the play caller, guys. It's a reason why you have those different positions. Yeah, some coaches actually do that, right? But that don't mean that everybody want to do that, guys. It's a reason why Ryan Grubb was there from the beginning. He was a play caller. He's a good play caller, right? If Kalen DeBoer didn't need Ryan Grubb or anything like that, he would have never had him from the beginning, right? It's a reason why. Do you want to go to work and be the worker? Do you want to go to work and be the lead? Do you want to go to work and be the manager? Do you want to do all three at once? It's like, what do you want to do? Like, what are you asking this man to be? Has it happened before? Yes. But like Nick Saban told you before, it can get grueling, guys. This come from the GOAT himself. He did a lot and it became grueling. You get what I'm saying? Like, you guys come out and you just say stuff. Well, Kalen DeBoer can call places. Yeah, he can. But guys, we want this. He's at the University of Alabama now. He should not have to do that. If you understand what I'm saying, I might get some backlash for saying that. But guys, it should be guys running to actually be his offensive coordinator. That's coming from Rags himself. Now, if anybody got any problem with that, you can come in the comment section. We'll talk about it. It don't matter to me. But what I'm saying is hopefully he don't have to go that route. They say it's Kalen DeBoer's offense, right? Ryan Grubb was just a play caller, and he was a darn good play caller, right? And hopefully we get another darn good play caller to call the plays. That's all I'm saying. When I was releasing my thoughts, right, on Mr. Ryan Grubb leaving, of course Mr. Kalen DeBoer can do it, but I want him to be the head coach. I want him to keep the main, and what I want really don't matter. I'm just saying, when you're working a job, do you want to take on 4 and 5 different tasks that you have to do, right? That's why you appoint somebody, right? That's why you delegate someone to that position. Now, another thing that I've heard is that we may have some co-coordinators, right, with Sheridan and Mr. Shepard, right? Would that be a good idea? Now, when I initially released my video the other day, I said I don't want to hear nothing about no Shepard being no offensive coordinator. But Rex had to calm down and think of that, right? If all else fails, we may have to go to Shepard and Sheridan. They've been in the system, right? A system that Mr. Kalen DeBoer has been implementing, right? And I've heard that this guy, Mr. Shepard, was a part of many of the past coordinated play calls, right? So if that's the case, man, of course that may work, right? Guys, we don't know which direction we're going in right now. I think a lot of us is kind of speculating, right? If we're not in those rooms talking to Mr. Kalen DeBoer, hey, if you ask me, guys, a lot of stuff they are really keeping close to the chest. And we just don't know about it, right? Prior to Mr. Ryan Grubb saying that he was going back to Washington, we didn't hear a lot from this guy, right? And I feel like it's to me, and maybe I'm wrong, but I just feel like it's still a lot of stuff we're not hearing. And I really do believe a lot of stuff that we are speculating. Now there's a few guys that's close to the program that throw a little hints here and there, or they throw us a little bait here and there, and we all have to go to it like little fish and get the bait, and we all go with that bait, right? And then we just throw stuff out there. Some of this stuff is just out there, just sitting out there. Hey, this offensive coordinator from freaking southeast, west, north Mississippi may be thinking about coming to being an offensive coordinator. I mean, that's just something we're just putting out there, guys. Not we, but some of these other guys are putting out there. And hey, if you just so happen to hit home and you might ring a bell in Mr. Greg Burns' head, hey, kudos to you, man. But right now, Mr. Greg Burns is the man, and he released a statement saying, hey, we do realize that Mr. Ryan Grubb was still going to be a candidate for the Seattle Seahawks job, and we knew that he really wanted that Washington head coach job, right? So they knew where his heart was at, right? They didn't say, we know where his heart was at, but that's what they was pretty much alluding to, right? Guys, I just want to get on here and say my piece, right? This is Rags and Fitness YouTube channel, guys. So this just gives me a platform to say what I want to say, or what I believe, guys, right? Now, there may be a lot of guys that say, Rags, I agree with you. There may be some guys that say, Rags, you are totally wrong. And there may be some guys that's sitting in the middle. Rags, I understand this portion of it, but I don't understand what you said here, right? And that's what we all are here for, guys. When I say keep God first, we have to understand what God is. God is the main thing, right? God created us, right? And he created us to have different ideas, different opinions, guys. If we have to be able to live in this lane that we're in, and we all decided to be content creators or whatever to give our opinion, right? So I have to take whatever you guys say. If you criticize me, I have to take it, right? But if you agree with me, I take that too, and I take that into account. But I do have the right to say or feel how I feel about Mr. Ryan Grubb. And at that point in time when Mr. Ryan Grubb left, I felt like it was a small blow to us, guys. Like I said, we was just putting things together and he decided to leave. Do I feel like Ryan Grubb is Mr. Alabama? He should have been there. No, he's gone now. He's gone. He's moved on, right? And one monkey don't stop a show, right? Ryan Grubb, I'm not trying to call you a monkey, but I'm just saying that's the way the saying goes, right? Guys, this show won't stop, but I'm still saying that, now we have to go back out and look. That's with anything. Just that was with Caleb Downs, when he left. I'm like, dang, Caleb, why would you go to Ohio State? But in the sense, you have every right to go. But we still had every right to say, come on, Caleb. But once he was gone, say, hey, one monkey don't stop no show. Once again, I'm not calling my guy monkey. I'm just saying that's the way the saying goes, right? Guys, with all that being said, man, I appreciate you for tuning in to Rags channel, man. Rags got some things to do. I know you guys are going to be tuning into the Super Bowl tonight. A lot of us might say we're not watching it. I'm going to try not to watch it, to be honest with you. I'm going to go and edit this video and send it out to you guys. So hopefully I'll be occupied with some things. Guys, man, I just want to tell you, man, keep your head up if you can, guys. I can't tell you how to feel about this hire. I feel a lot of people is down. A lot of people still down about Nick Saban retiring and Mr. Kalen DeBoer being our head coach, right? A lot of people still down about that, and they're scared to voice their opinion because they don't want to hear the rest of the Alabama fan base say, hey, man, get over it. But, guys, I will say this, right? I'm one of those guys that's saying, man, let's go. Let's get it. Let's get excited about it, right? But people do have their right to feel the way that they feel about Mr. Nicholas Saban not being there. They have the right to feel the way that they feel about Mr. Kalen DeBoer, because guess what? We know that Mr. Kalen DeBoer is a winner. We haven't seen Mr. Kalen DeBoer win with Alabama, right? Some people say this. I'm gonna show you how backwards some people how they talk, right? Some people say, hey man, why are we down on Ryan Grubb leaving, right? We haven't seen him coach not one down in Alabama. Forget him, let him go, right? But then again, you hear the same people say, man, I'm excited about Kalen DeBoer because he's going to do this, he's going to do that. But we haven't seen him coach one down, right? So it's okay for us to be optimistic, right? And I'm optimistic, Rags, but for some of those other people that's a little bit pessimistic, right? And in some senses, I don't like a lot of pessimistic, but I can understand where they're coming from. The guy that's saying, hey man, wait a minute, we haven't seen this guy coach it down yet. I heard a guy say it the other night and I understood exactly where he was coming from. He has every right to title his opinion the way he feel about Mr. Kalen DeBoer, right? Do I feel that way about Kalen DeBoer? I told you guys initially I wasn't excited about the hire, right? I'm one of those guys that I have to hear it and I might voice my opinion. I sit down and think about, say, man, this is good. Okay, we got this coming back. We got that coming back. This guy is a proven winner. Let's go with it, right? But to me, when he hired Grubb, that made it all the better for me because I thought that Grubb had more of a connection with Penix and a lot of the other stuff that was going on, right? And then when he left, that's why I reacted the way that I reacted, right? It's because I had those feelings for me. You understand that? So when he left, I had that kind of reaction. Once again, I want to reiterate to some of you guys because I don't think you listen good enough. I'm not saying that Grubb leaving is the end of Alabama because, like you said, he didn't coach it down, right? But none of these guys have coached it down with Alabama. So guess what? It's another process that we have to wait and see. We all know what Mr. Nicholas Saban taught us. It was like he was banging that in our heads, right? And it's a good thing he did it for so many years because we can apply it to this situation, right? It's a process. So what are you going to do? Are you going to trust it? Are you going to jump ship? Are you going to stay here? We're going to go down with the ship. If it go down, we're going to ride off into the sunset. How are we going to do this, guys? Hey, we have to trust the process. I hope you guys stayed into the end of this video and listened to what I said. Guys, all I got to say is I got to get ready to get up out of here. This video ended up being longer than I thought, guys. It wasn't a scripted video. It was just me voicing my opinion, right? So what I will say is this, guys, I got to get up out of here. I know you love looking down into the deeps and the depths of my eyes, man. But guess what, man? I'm gone already. Yeah.